Buenos días a todos, soy Claudio Melandri, Presidente de Banco Santander Chile. Bienvenidos a nuestro primer Santander Digital Talk. Sabemos muy bien que el año 2020 ha sido un año especial, complejo, desafiante, pero no ha significado un obstáculo para nuestra estrategia de consolidar a Santander Chile como la principal institución en banca digital del país. Hoy les traigo buenas noticias que repasaremos a lo largo de este encuentro y que demostrarán los potentes avances que hemos realizado y que nos dejan como banco líder en esta revolución digital que vive la región. Veremos también que esto no es casualidad, porque llevamos años en un exitoso proceso de transformación cultural y digital que nos ha posicionado como la mejor banca en Chile con unas cifras de crecimiento espectaculares, lo que nos produce mucho optimismo para el futuro. Llegar a este punto no ha sido fácil y requirió de un gran esfuerzo en varios frentes. Ser referentes en banca digital no solo supone invertir en tecnología, sino que también promover profundas transformaciones en la cultura organizacional y en cómo nos relacionamos con nuestros clientes. Nuestro propósito central es ayudar a las personas y empresas a prosperar, y nuestra misión es ser el mejor banco, actuando responsablemente y ganando la lealtad de nuestros clientes, accionistas, personas y comunidades, con la excelencia en la ejecución como nuestro sello. Uno de los primeros pasos que dimos para alcanzar estos objetivos fue impulsar una exitosa revolución cultural a través de toda la organización, basada en los principios SPF, con el fin de crear un banco más simple, personal y fair. Lograr esto requiere de una labor sistemática y profunda, con énfasis en los comportamientos y en cómo trabajar de una forma más eficiente y colaborativa para alcanzar una exitosa transformación digital. Nuestro balance hoy es que lo logramos y lo hicimos de la mano de políticas y prácticas de gestión de personas que nos han valido varios reconocimientos en materia de recursos humanos, dentro de los cuales quiero destacar los avances del banco en Great Place to Work, que no solo reflejan las mejoras en materia de gestión de personas y clima interno, sino también un salto cualitativo en relación a otras empresas en Chile. Las cifras son elocuentes. Mientras en el año 2015 teníamos un puntaje de 76 puntos en Great Place to Work y estábamos en el puesto 25, sucesivos avances anuales nos tienen hoy en una posición de liderazgo que este 2020 se expresa en los 92 puntos obtenidos, con un avance de más de 4 puntos en la evaluación de este año, lo que es aún más meritorio dada la contingencia actual. Esto no es casualidad, sino producto de un cambio cultural que ha sido profundamente valorado por nuestros colaboradores, sin los cuales nuestra transformación digital no hubiera sido posible. Asimismo, todo esto no sería una realidad sin el apoyo de nuestros clientes, quienes hoy demandan la mejor experiencia. Para lograr este objetivo, hace varios años que Santander busca, con metas claras y bien definidas, transformarse en uno de los bancos con mayor satisfacción de clientes en el país, lográndolo a través de una mejora continua de nuestro modelo de satisfacción, la digitalización creciente de los canales de distribución y una oferta innovadora de productos y servicios. Gracias a estos cambios, hoy podemos decir con orgullo que somos el banco con los mejores niveles de satisfacción y NPS en la industria, con un evolutivo histórico importante. Por ejemplo, nuestro NPS de octubre de este año llegó a su nivel más alto histórico, de 48%, comparado con el 26% para el promedio de nuestros peers, en plena pandemia, con más del 95% de nuestros colaboradores de servicios centrales y contact center trabajando desde sus casas. Dentro de las distintas categorías en NPS, quiero destacar que los más altos están ligados a nuestros productos digitales. Hoy me acompaña nuestro gerente general, Miguel Mata, quien ha liderado activamente este proceso en conjunto con todo el equipo del banco y nos contará cómo hemos construido esta gran performance que nos distingue dentro del sistema financiero.
Gracias, Claudio. Hola a todos y bienvenidos. Por décadas, Santander Chile ha sido líder de la industria bancaria en el país. Resultado que pasa por no quedarse de brazos cruzados, sino que por innovar y empujar permanentemente nuevos proyectos. En estos años que, junto a Claudio, hemos tenido la responsabilidad de dirigir esta institución, asumimos como una necesidad impostergable el profundizar la transformación cultural y digital para consolidar y proyectar nuestro liderazgo. No existe una estrategia digital sin un cambio profundo en la organización. Otro punto que no podemos dejar de mencionar a la hora de contextualizar por qué hemos empujado nuestra transformación digital con tanta fuerza se relaciona con la irrupción en 2012 de los topes a la tasa máxima convencional y otras regulaciones que impactaron la bancarización. Estos cambios y medidas las incorporamos a nuestra estrategia, de manera de buscar alternativas a la reducción temporal en nuestra exposición al negocio de consumo masivo, producto de la regulación. Hoy, solo un 1% de nuestra cartera retail proviene de los segmentos de menores rentas, comparado con un 8% a fines del 2012. Hoy hemos vuelto a los segmentos de menores ingresos y lo hemos hecho de la mano de avances en la banca digital, como lo reflejan Superdigital y Santander Life, a través de los cuales las personas acceden ahora al banco con plataformas digitales mucho más eficientes, con una mejor calidad de servicio y uso de la data, para apoyar la inclusión financiera de forma responsable y rentable. Santander Chile también está inmerso en uno de sus más ambiciosos planes de inversión de los últimos tiempos, que abarca unos 380 millones de dólares para el trienio 2019-2021. Para maximizar la productividad y retorno de nuestras inversiones, hemos ejecutado un profundo proceso de transformación digital. ¿Y qué significa esto? Nada menos que poder atender a nuestros clientes en cualquier momento y lugar a través del dispositivo que ellos elijan. Para esto se necesitaba una nueva plataforma de procesos y una transformación de nuestra arquitectura. Y lo hemos logrado. Hemos realizado profundos cambios a nuestro modelo de TI. Mejoramos significativamente las sinergias entre el área de sistemas y las áreas comerciales. Redujimos duplicidad de funciones, bajamos los costos de desarrollo y mejoramos sustancialmente la gobernanza. Además, transformamos completamente la arquitectura de nuestros servicios financieros digitales. Hemos logrado construir una arquitectura de productos basada en servicios y no costos, una mayor utilización de la cloud y con procesos digitales end-to-end. Otro paso clave fue la transformación hacia la metodología de trabajo Agile, que permitió al banco avanzar en la adopción de DevOps, una metodología para el desarrollo de software que es esencial para la transformación digital y para la generación de productos digitales. Esto le permite al banco ser más eficiente de cara al cliente, con mayor velocidad en la entrega de proyectos y en la productividad de los equipos de trabajo, mejorando los tiempos en costo, calidad y metodología. Además, hemos impulsado fuertemente la robotización y el mayor uso de datos. A fines del 2018 teníamos 10 robots y este año ya tendremos más de 100. El total de transacciones que realizan estos robots se ha duplicado en un año. Todo esto también ha impulsado una mayor eficiencia en los recursos de TI y los resultados han sido espectaculares en este sentido. Por ejemplo, el time to market de nuestros desarrollos ha pasado de más de 12 semanas a solo 6 semanas. La tarifa promedio por hora, hombre, de los proyectos ha bajado en 35% y el uptime promedio de nuestro home banking y office banking ha subido continuamente y hoy está en 99,9%. El crecimiento promedio anual de gastos de esta división ha sido menos del 1%, pero con un aumento de más del 30% en transacciones digitales. Y no podemos dejar de mencionar las inversiones en ciberseguridad y la consecuente reducción de incidencias informáticas. Un banco que no da confianza en estos aspectos no será exitoso en su estrategia digital. Con el objetivo de entregar la mejor experiencia a nuestros clientes, en Santander Chile realizamos una gestión proactiva de las incidencias tecnológicas a través del monitoreo de todas nuestras plataformas, canales y servicios. Durante los últimos años impulsamos con fuerza los avances tecnológicos en ciberseguridad, invirtiendo en todos los temas de TI, operaciones y estructura. La evolución de incidencias tecnológicas en los últimos 5 años muestra una baja de cerca de 89%, pasando de una tasa de 2,09 incidencias por día en 2015 a 0,23 en 2020. Importante destacar que muchas de estas incidencias no afectan clientes. Todo ello le ha valido al banco estar a la vanguardia en estos temas y ser calificado con 780 puntos sobre un máximo de 900 en el rating de ciberseguridad de BitSight, compañía internacional líder en evaluaciones de ciberseguridad que analiza empresas, agencias de gobierno e instituciones educacionales. Además, explica por qué somos el banco privado con más clientes digitales, sumando más de 2,6 millones y con un crecimiento anual promedio de 10% desde el año 2015. Si bien tenemos alrededor de un 19% de participación de mercado en préstamos, lideramos con un 35% de participación de mercado en clientes digitales, entre bancos privados según la CMF. Otro gran hito este año ha sido la cantidad récord en captación de cuentas corrientes, ya que en lo que va del año hemos abierto más cuentas corrientes que todo el sistema en su conjunto. Todo esto se debe a nuestro exitoso proceso de onboarding digital y al game changer que ha sido Santander Life, que conocerán con mayor detalle en unos instantes.
Como pueden ver, estos logros no son producto del azar, sino que fruto de un arduo trabajo en varios frentes. Para ser realmente un banco digital es necesario no solo invertir, sino que además cambiar completamente una organización. Ahora los invito a ver la siguiente presentación y conocer más de nuestra estrategia digital y los productos que hemos desarrollado con un foco en la banca retail, lo que ha permitido a Santander Chile ser líder en los temas digitales en el país y también a nivel regional. Luego tendremos una sesión de preguntas en vivo en la que compartiremos con varios directivos del banco. Disfruten.
The retail bank in Chile faces a diverse set of challenges in the coming years. Changes in consumer behavior, the way we relate to each other, and the boom of startups and e-commerce have been the forefront since the COVID-19 pandemic. Therefore, although we are the leading bank within the country, the undeniable eruption of digital banking has led us to overhaul our future strategy around these two main concepts: run the bank and change the bank. The strategy to run the bank is centered on the consumer with a phygital distribution model and value-added offer based on what people wish to achieve. The objectives of Run the Bank are mainly on high level of consumer satisfaction to increase the productivity of all channels and to be more efficient and profitable. The phygital distribution model seeks to continue developing both the digital and physical channels with a focus on omni-channel and close interrelation between both. Self-service is the first approach through a digital channel, which is supported by tools such as Salesforce and virtual assistants that are highly personalized and give answers in real time. If necessary, the queries can then be derived to chats and intelligent IVR, both run by our contact center. Last but not least, the branches serve as an experience and advisory hub, where the Work Café model is the cornerstone of this phygital model. Everything is interconnected through the most advanced CRM in the region, with contact history, cloud technology, and the sole data lake to store information. Through the value-added offer, we present 4 concepts based on the consumer's purpose. This gets together with a series of products and services that accompany the client throughout the stages of life that seek to increase the client's lifetime value. The 4 concepts are: 1. Santander Life, a product that recognizes the client's good financial behavior through a merit and benefits program. 2. Work Café, an inclusive business model for clients and non-clients that seeks to help people prosper, start a business, and innovate without asking anything in exchange. 3. Latam Paz Alliance, enabling the concepts of travel, leisure, and free time to be within everyone's reach. 4. ESG carbon footprint. Products and services whose purposes are sustainability and care for the environment, with credit products assigned for projects that improve the environment. Santander Life is a business model with a clear purpose, a high client acquisition, high volume of low margin, with a rewards and recognition offer through a low-cost attention model. Santander Life aims to meet the needs of the middle class, the largest and the fastest growing population in the country. It is estimated that in Chile there are 4.5 million people in the middle class that are still not bancarized or find themselves semi-bancarized with expensive products, little recognition of their efforts to meet their financial obligations, and with a deficient digital component. The most innovative aspect of Santander Life is the Married to Life program, the first program in Chile that rewards clients for their positive financial behavior. As clients pay their financial obligations on time, they accumulate merits that then give them access to exclusive benefits such as more interest-free installments, discounts on their interest rate, payments flexibility, these among others. Clients that reaches level 5 in the Married to Life program pays the same interest rate as a high-income client. Also, the onboarding process is 100% digital, where in less than 10 minutes, a client can open their current account. This, along with good management of digital marketing, has enabled us to increase our current account client capture by 7-fold in the month of August compared to previous month. Since the attention model is 100% digital, it is low cost, flexible, and scalable. Due to all of this, Life has been a tremendous hit from a client and financial perspective, and when we have over 300,000 clients in just a few months. This product is the main reason why we have beaten the market in account openings in the year. In a normal month, the whole Chilean market opens around 11,000 current accounts. In the third quarter, Santander Life alone opened 70,000 on a monthly basis. Life has a high NPS score of 78%, which reflects the great client acceptance that the product has had. There are similar products currently in the market, but all of them have certain restrictions or costs that do not reflect the needs of this segment for a product that is transparent, no fuss, and low cost that recognizes their effort. When opening a Life account, the only cost the client has is a fixed fee of only $2.8. Santander Life is highly profitable. It is estimated that this year, Life clients will generate around $50 million in revenues versus $22 million last year. A large part comes from risk-free products, such as fees and profitability of demand deposits. The cost of acquiring a Life client is 5 times lower than what we used to pay for clients in this segment, which we used to call the Banefe. While Banefe had 100 branches and 2,000 employees in the sales force, Life does not require specialized branches nor specialized sales force. Life also includes credit products like the Life credit card and the Life installment loans, all 100% digitally accessible. We recently added the Life cycle concept to Life, adding young people and seniors with a differentiated proposal. Using the data from the Married to Life program, we will be able to efficiently identify credit opportunities without over-indebtedness. The Work Cafe is one of our greatest innovations in the financial industry, not only locally, but also globally. An important component of our phygital strategy are branches that clients want to go to. Therefore, a branch format such as WorkCafe will be essential to improve our relationship with clients and our contribution to society. With a concept that is inclusive, friendly, and collaborative for both clients and non-clients, a space to work and do business, a new banking experience, the WorkCafe not only made branch attractive again for customers and non-customers with this concept of co-work cafeteria and connecting spaces, but also developed a business model around this idea. A curiosity? Before the pandemic, our WorkCafes were the largest sellers of coffee in Chile, surpassing Juan Valdez and Starbucks. How did we do that? Because the WorkCafe is a place where people want to be, want to meet, want to do business. This is a campaign by a much more efficient branch structure with a high level of digitalization. On the one hand, the removal of human tellers and changes to the operating process allowed the operating commercial ratio to improve. In a traditional branch, there is one relationship manager for each person in the back office. In a WorkCafe, there's a ratio improves to 3 relationship managers to 1 back office person. This reduces cost to income of the branch by 15%. Meanwhile, the greater flow of clients, together with a new work system, incentive model, and intelligence, made these offices 10% more productive in opening accounts and with 5% more growth in gross income. Customers also value them with NPS of these offices at least 10 percentage points above that of traditional branches in all dimensions. But WorkCafe is not just physical. It has developed a digital platform, the WorkCafe community, which is aimed at helping people and SMEs to start over. It offers a series of non-financial services such as room, co-work reservations, entrepreneur talks, employability portal, mentoring portal, and a series of tools to support the digitalization of entrepreneurs and SMEs. The community already has more than 100,000 members, and more than 1,200 entrepreneurs are using it as a showcase to boost their sales. This project will evolve into a platform that will connect with other businesses, such as GetNet, Más Millas, Super Digital, and financial offers in order to become a marketplace in the future. In 2020, Banco Santander will end the year with 60 WorkCafes branches, but additionally, the model has already expanded to the group's big cities, including Madrid, Lisbon, Warsaw, Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, Buenos Aires, and New York, among others, being the office format chosen for the future. On the other hand, we are very focused on developing our Change the Bank strategy. Santander Chile seeks to transform itself into a platform that, taking advantage of our high market share, develops a technological platform with high digital engagement of our clients, allowing them to use the bank as a channel or as a software provider to develop businesses. This can be achieved due to investments made by API, cloud, DevOps, and service technologies that allow for greater agility and flexibility. Here, the advantage of being part of a group at a global level becomes important, being able to leverage on global projects such as Phoenix 21, which will develop 3 vertical solutions that can be exported or have been exported to Chile. 1. Solutions for consumers. The objective is to offer simple and attractive payment options, which are used by our clients. 2. Solutions for international trade and international transfers. 3. Solution for business. GetNet's global expansion. Some examples of the success are the development of projects such as Super Digital, Clare, Autocompara, OnePayFX, and GetNet. Super Digital is a 100% digital, low investment and scalable bank. It targets the unbanked market with a friendly and agile freemium offer. We estimate that this segment in Chile totals more than 4.5 million people, or 55% of the workforce. This includes low-income people, immigrants, and youth. Super Digital has a 100% digital prepaid card that has its origins in fintech acquired by Santander Brazil, and whose functionalities were adapted to local market. It seeks to position itself as a bank for daily use that allows unbanked people to access a prepaid debit card that can be used physically, but most importantly, allows them to enter the digital world. There are many people in Chile who cannot access, for example, Spotify, Netflix, or Corner Shop because they do not have a credit or debit card. Super Digital's basic option incorporates a MasterCard debit card into a digital version, allowing its consumers to use this payment method to shop online. Up to date, it already has more than 120,000 clients with exponential growth since it was officially launched in April 2020. Super Digital will also be an important factor that will allow us to ease the burden of payroll payments in branches. Banco Santander is #1 in Chile in cash management services. Another digital innovation is Clare, the first 100% digital insurtech in Chile, accessible through clare.cl. It is an open platform developed with a lean method focused on open market and scalable. Its versatility allows it to generate the 3 business models: B2B, B2C, and software as a service. Clare was officially launched in April in the midst of the pandemic, and still the results have been excellent. Up to date, it has already started marketing life insurance, selling the equivalent of 25% of the life insurance sold by the entire bank's network. The average insurance premium is 2 times higher than the premium sold in the bank's other channels. Clare has also achieved an outstanding NPS of 86% for the client contracting process. Another digital insurance evolution that has been successful development of Autocompara. This digital platform for contracting car insurance contains more than 7 companies and is accessed through the bank's home banking website. Autocompara provides the wide range of insurance for various brands and ranges of cars, including hybrids and electric cars, at a very competitive prices and up to 16% cheaper than similar products. Autocompara also solves one of the biggest difficulties when hiring an auto insurance: comparability between insurances. When you compare the different policies offered through this platform, similar products are offered whose main difference is the price. Autocompara also includes digital inspection and first-rate assistance. Autocompara's success has been resounding. This year, car sales in Chile have decreased, but our auto insurance premium sales have risen more than 60%. Due to this, we have achieved first place in auto insurance sales for the first time, surpassing the sales of 8,000 policies in the months of August and September. This is notable given the sharp decline in car sales this year. In international trade solutions, we have developed OnePay FX that seeks to occupy a place in leadership in the market, with one of the first services that will allow people to make international transfers quickly, safely, simply, and without cost from APP and home banking. OnePay FX uses Ripple's blockchain technology that is very secure and permits instantaneous transfers. Our corporate and retail clients can now make transfers to 19 countries in the Eurozone and soon to the US and the UK. OnePay FX is one of the good examples of the synergies that the Santander Group is implementing globally to find digital solutions for our clients. In Chile, the card payment system has grown rapidly. Each year in this country, $61 billion are processed for credit and debit card purchases. Since 2015, on average, credit card operations have grown 30% annually, and debit cards 22%. We currently have a market share of 25 in the amount of purchases with credit and debit cards, a clear leadership in these products. At the end of 2018, we announced our intention to terminate the agreement with Transbank, the account company with monopoly in this business, and we became the first bank in Chile to switch to a four-part model using inter-exchange fees. To continue strengthening our leadership in the payments business and in line with solutions for merchants, we want to highlight our GetNet project that seeks to strongly disrupt the acquisition market with a wide offer that covers all sizes of merchants with varied solutions for payments. This is a market with high growth potential, where more than 60% of the country's businesses do not have POS. GetNet comes to solve these problems. Accompanied by high technological security and support standards, our vision is to multiply the electronic payment market and reduce cash payments with a massive and secure system. We believe that we can provide businesses with a competitive rate, better technology, and other offers and alliances that are unique to our bank. GetNet is complemented by the financial offer and is a product that will be part of the offer of platforms developed by such as WorkCafe community. In conclusion, the bank has a clear strategy on how to continue profiting from the current business with Run the Bank, where our value proposition focused on clients' needs and our digital distribution model make it unbeatable. At the same time, we are preparing for the future with Change the Bank, creating platforms and digital businesses where our capabilities, our sales channel or software generation can be used to open the market and satisfy other needs beyond the financial ones. This year has been a clear example of how this strategy is generating results. Despite the pandemic and despite having 95% of our employees working from home for most of the year, and with more than a third of the branch network closed in the first 9 months, the profound transformations that we have carried out during recent years, together with recent digital innovations, have enabled us to achieve memorable milestones this year. For the first time in our history, we have a greater amount of demand deposits than time deposits. 50% growth in demand deposit this year. Digital clients growing more than 20% with a market share among private banks of over 30%. Number 1 in current account openings driven by Santander Life, growing almost 6 times more than the rest of the system as of August, with an interannual growth of 13.9%. 92 points in GPTW, number 1 in NPS among the main banks in Chile, number 1 in efficiency with a ratio of 40% despite executing an ambitious technological investment plan. Successful launch of Super Digital with more than 120,000 clients in just 4 months. Launch of the first InsurTech through Clare, which is already selling equivalent of 25% of the life insurance premiums of the bank's network. Number 1 in motor insurance policies for the first time through autocompara.cl. Launch of WorkCafe 3.0 that will revolutionize the branch model in Chile. With this, we will now move on to our Q&A session. You will be able to use the chat if you have any questions. Thank you, and on to Santander Digital Talk Q&A session.
And I would like to introduce part of my team. On my right, Mr. Miguel Mata, our CEO, Mr. Emiliano Muratore, our CFO, and Mr. Matías Sánchez, our retail banking manager. And to my left, Mr. Robert Moreno, our investor relations manager, who will conduct our Q&A session. Pueden preguntar en español si así lo desean.
Gracias, Claudio. Hello, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for attending our first Santander Digital Talk. We'll wait a moment to get the first questions online to the chat. We already have our first question. This is from Claudio Benavente from Santander. The question is the following. It's in Spanish. I'll read it in Spanish. El grupo ha dado a conocer varias iniciativas digitales a nivel global. ¿Cómo encaja la estrategia digital de Banco Santander Chile con esta visión global del Grupo Santander? Creo, Claudio, que esta pregunta es para ti.
Bueno, la visión de Banco Santander Chile es parte de la visión del grupo a nivel global. Cada país ha ido avanzando de acuerdo a la realidad de cada país y al desarrollo que tiene la industria en cada país donde se encuentra Santander. Nosotros hemos ido avanzando en nuestro proceso de digitalización de la mano de la estrategia del grupo. Esto nos permite avanzar con mayor rapidez, nos permite tener acceso a tecnología de punta, nos da una ventaja competitiva desde ese punto de vista y también nos da acceso a una mayor plataforma con mayor escala, donde tenemos acceso también a menores costos, a costes marginales que tienden a bajar, que nos ayudan a mantener la ventaja competitiva que tenemos desde el punto de vista de eficiencia.
Perfecto. Bueno, vamos a la segunda pregunta, que es la segunda pregunta de Claudia. Esta tiene que ver con GetNet. Santander Brasil ha anunciado la cotización de GetNet en Brasil, o sea, el listing de GetNet. ¿Están planeando una estrategia similar en Chile? Esta pregunta se la vamos a dar a Miguel Mata.
First, I'd like to say that we will be answering your questions in the same language they are posted. So,
yes.
Para explicar el tema de GetNet, yo creo que es necesario primero que se entienda por qué nosotros tomamos el riesgo de mover nuestro negocio a cuatro partes, nuestro negocio emisor sobre todo. Y como se decía en el video, nosotros tenemos una participación bastante importante en el negocio de medios de pago desde el punto de vista de los montos facturados. En el minuto en que nosotros nos sentamos con Claudio hace algunos años a revisar nuestro negocio, nos dimos cuenta que era necesario innovar y que era necesario poder diferenciarnos, pero sobre todo necesitábamos que el mercado creciera, porque nosotros con un 25% plantearnos que íbamos a llegar a una participación de mercado del 40% hubiera sido muy poco realista, y por lo tanto lo que nosotros necesitábamos que el mercado creciera para que así nuestro negocio creciera. Y ahí nos embarcamos en toda esta aventura de mover el mercado chileno hacia el modelo de cuatro partes. Tuvimos que enfrentar todos los costos de hacer la fuerza de mover al mercado, solicitar los desarrollos a Transbank y a Nexus, pagar por esos desarrollos, y construimos una carretera que hoy día la estamos usando nosotros, obviamente, pero quedó disponible para cualquiera de los emisores que funcionan en Chile y que hoy día ya todos se están moviendo hacia el mercado, hacia la operación en un modelo cuatro partes. Para nosotros, ¿qué significó esto? Bueno, lo más obvio, un incremento de unos 30 millones de dólares en nuestros resultados en el negocio de medios de pago a facturación constante, entre mayores ingresos y menores costos. Pero más que eso, logramos nuestro objetivo principal, que era poder innovar y poder diferenciarnos. Hoy día nosotros tenemos factores que son realmente muy distintos a la media del mercado. Nosotros podemos emitir una nueva tarjeta de crédito en cualquier sucursal del banco en 5 minutos, y para la mayoría de los bancos de la competencia eso se mide en días, en varios días. Y por lo tanto, con esta ventaja y con la nueva estructura financiera de nuestro negocio, pudimos lanzar Superdigital, que también se mencionaba en el video, que hoy día tiene más de 125.000 nuevos clientes. Lanzamos Santander Life, que hoy día tiene 400.000 nuevos clientes, y por lo tanto entre Santander Life y Superdigital ya tenemos más de 500.000 nuevos clientes. Y esto es muy importante porque conjunto con lo que vamos a hacer ahora desde el lado de adquirencia, es lo que nos ha permitido a nosotros volver al negocio de rentas masivas. Y volver al negocio de rentas masivas hoy día con un negocio de muy low cost, de muy bajo riesgo, porque es principalmente basado en un aprendizaje transaccional de estos clientes y donde algunos de estos clientes al final, cuando ya los vamos conociendo, los vamos graduando y les vamos ofreciendo crédito. Y por lo tanto es un negocio que es muy rentable, pero también muy sustentable. ¿Dónde estamos desde el punto de vista de adquirencia? Hoy día, con el modelo de 4 partes en funcionamiento, nosotros y cualquier nuevo entrante al mercado de adquirencia puede empezar a desarrollar una red de POS. Nosotros ya tenemos un modelo que está construido, que está en funcionamiento, que está certificado por las marcas, que está certificado por auditores externos, y tenemos este piloto ya hace varios meses donde hay 350 clientes que están operando con nuestros POS en adquirencia. ¿Qué es lo que falta? Falta una última autorización para que la filial de adquirencia que nosotros generamos pueda operar. Nosotros pensamos que esto es inminente y cuando esto ocurra, lo que va a pasar es que en los próximos 3 años nosotros esperamos generar una participación de mercado para GetNet de aproximadamente un 15%, lo que implicaría ingresos adicionales de unos $19 millones al año. ¿Qué es lo que viene después? Nuestra plataforma, que se llama GetNet, opera bajo una plataforma tecnológica que nosotros construimos especialmente con un proveedor externo que se llama Evertech. Lo que va a ocurrir es que en la medida de que el calendario de implantación de GetNet, que es una plataforma global que tiene el grupo, se vaya cumpliendo y nos toque el turno a nosotros, que lo más probable es que va a ser a mediados del 2021, nosotros vamos a ir transfiriendo parte de nuestra operación de adquirencia a la plataforma global GetNet. Al final de estos 3 años, cuando tengamos una participación o cuando sea el minuto que lo haga pertinente, vamos a discutir la estructura societaria, vamos a ver si esa filial sigue siendo 100% propiedad de Santander Chile o si entra a la propiedad GetNet y en qué proporción, y veremos cuál es el mecanismo más conveniente para todos nuestros accionistas, los
Perfecto.
accionistas principales y obviamente los minoritarios, pero la idea es que esto primero sea una realidad y que tengamos una participación de mercado relevante.
Perfecto. Gracias, Miguel. Está clarísimo. Vamos a la próxima pregunta, que es from Jorge Curi from Morgan Stanley. So Jorge Curi states, thanks for the detailed presentation. Can you talk about branch rationalization as a result of your digital initiatives? Is there an opportunity to cut branches over time? And can you quantify the impact to your expenses and P&L? Many thanks. I'll give this question to our head of retail banking, Matías Sánchez.
Thank you, Robert. Yes, everyone knows that we have been transforming our branch network since 2017 when World Cafe first coffee shop go on the market. And since then, we were transforming our branch network as a business as usual. I mean, we have no specific closing branches, but obviously, as long as we are open a new World Cafe branches, we had the opportunity to merge some traditional branches in this one new experience. And that's allow us to save some cost as a result. But as I just said, there is not a specific plan to reduce branches, but we have a specific plan to open new ones. In fact, this year, with the pandemic involved, we are opening 8 new World Cafe branches, and in our running normal years, we will open till 15 or 30 new World Cafe branches in a row.
Okay, and Matías, just as a follow-up, could you quickly say how much more efficient is a World Cafe than a traditional branch?
Absolutely. So the efficiency in the branch network is not by the way that we are closing traditional ones. Is because the World Cafe are more efficient. It's 50% more efficient than the traditional ones, like we explained in the video, and 10% more profitable because the big flows that happen inside. And obviously the customer experience, the NPS above 70% is great. That give us some sales opportunities.
Okay, so we're going to the next question. This question is from Alonso Garcia from Credit Suisse. What is the current state of the fintech industry in Chile? How disrupted has it been, and in which segments? How does your broad digital strategy place Santander Chile, not only versus the rest of the banks, but vis-a-vis the key fintechs in the country? This question for Matías?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, everyone knows that maybe the biggest countries in the region have a big fintech ecosystem. I mean, like Brazil, Mexico, wherever. But here in Chile, we have one of the biggest fintech hubs in Latin America. It's called Startup Chile, and was a very good initiative for the government some years ago. So our approach to the fintech system is to collaborate with them. We don't want to fight with them. We think that they can solve very important and very specific problems and pain points for the customers, and we are working together to solve as quick as possible those facts. So we think it's more a win-win situation than a trade-off one.
Thank you. So on our next question, we have a question from Neha Agarwala from HSBC. She states, really impressive initiatives at the bank. First, number one, how should we think about their contribution to revenue growth, mainly fees, I believe, and towards improvement of the cost-income ratio in the medium term?
Contribution of whom?
Sorry?
Who is contributing?
To the RP&L, okay? How do you see the fintech landscape in the country? In the digital initiatives like Claire and Autocompara, is the competition mostly from our other universal banks or from new challenger companies? So I think the first question we'll leave for Miguel.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't understand the one.
Yeah, let's go, put it down again. I'll repeat.
I didn't get it right.
I'll repeat it. So basically how all these digital initiatives are going to contribute to our fees, our revenue, and how they're going to impact our cost-income structure.
Well, first of all, there's a first driver in digitalization, which is, of course, related to cost. This is the first impact. But most important for us in the long term is the possibility to return to the mass market, which we left some years ago when we had to shut down our Banefe branch network because of the cost of credit it had and the cost of distribution was too high. And then again, digitalization is very important in terms of assuring a level of service for clients. So these three drivers result in, of course, lower costs. And what is the amount of lower cost we are talking about? Every year, just by washing our teeth, brushing our teeth, our cost bases are higher by some 8%.
Okay.
Because we have indexation on salaries, and we have indexation on our technology cost related to the dollar or the euro. We, through digitalization, have been able to lower this cost increase from 8% to inflation plus 0. So,
Exactly.
so those are some 5% cost cutting year after year, which equals to some 40 billion pesos.
Okay.
That's the amount in the
Savings.
cost in the savings side. But most important and most important to the sustainability to our business is that because of our payments strategy and also the digitalization of our operations, now we are going to be able to come strong again to the low-income segments.
Perfect.
There we have some roughly 4.5 million customers which are not bancarized. And these are blue waters. So far, as I mentioned in the other question, we have some 500 new clients combining life and super digital. But that is only half of the year since we launched Santander Life current accounts. What we expect for this year? We expect that during the whole year, the whole system is going to create some 330,000 new current accounts as a whole. Out of these 330,000, 100,000,
Yep.
we are going to open 290,000 of those 330. So we are going to be opening most of the current accounts in the system.
Yes.
We are going to be opening 11 times more accounts than our main blue competitor.
Yes.
That's just the kind of figures
Yeah.
we are going to achieve through this strategy.
With low cost, too.
I would say that cost is very important. In service is very important. This year we achieved #1 in customer service, first time in the history of this bank. But the most important part of the most important benefit from digitalization is what we are going to be able to make in the future years in terms of perspective for the future of the bank, going back to the low-income segments, and also the contribution we are going to do for bancarization in Chile.
Okay. The second question, I'll give it to Matías. In the digital initiatives like Claire and Autocompara, is the competition from other banks, or are you seeing new fintechs, new challengers? How is that landscape?
Obviously for both.
Okay.
The good thing with Claro or Autocompara, that give us the opportunity to fight in the open market, you know. So we have a great competitive advantage because we have a deep understanding of customer behavior, and on the other hand, our software delivery, which is great right now, give us the opportunity to fight in this open market. So we see those change the bank option like the best way to compete in the future and to continue gain market share.
Perfect. Ahora tenemos una pregunta local en castellano. Obviamente la pandemia existe, no podemos ignorarlo, así que esta pregunta yo creo también siempre está en la mente de todos. ¿Cómo ha evolucionado el riesgo crediticio de la cartera reprogramada? Esto para Claudio Melandri.
Es pregunta local, ¿no?
Sí, dale nomás.
Bueno, la verdad es que nos ha sorprendido gratamente la evolución que ha tenido la cartera. Primero, la cartera que no estaba reprogramada se ha comportado muy bien. Y la cartera que tiene moratoria o periodos de gracia han ido venciendo, esencialmente cartera de hipotecaria y algún tramo también de créditos de consumo que reprogramamos. Y la verdad que los resultados son espectaculares, con un cumplimiento de un 99%. Nos tiene sorprendido, ¿no? Pero muy bien. Ahora tenemos que esperar, sí, qué va a pasar con SMEs, con las pymes, en el mes de diciembre, que empiezan los primeros vencimientos, pero estimamos, y viendo el comportamiento que está teniendo la cartera, el resto de la cartera pyme, que los resultados debieran ser buenos. Ahora estamos bien preparados también para apoyar a estos clientes y reforzar algunas medidas de cobranza en caso que sea necesario.
Perfecto. Ok, próxima pregunta de Ernesto Gabilondo del BOFA. ¿Cuál sería el siguiente producto digital? ¿En qué momento prestarán de manera digital a las pymes o SMEs o a los corporates? Buena pregunta.
Matías.
Se lo dejamos a Matías.
La verdad es que hay muchos productos digitales en cartera. Dejarme que tenga un poquito de emoción,
Sí.
pero principalmente vamos a desarrollar con muchas soluciones nuestras propuestas de valor que hemos explicado en el video. En cuanto a, digamos, al mundo de las pymes y empresas, yo creo que el año 21 va a ser el año digital para esos segmentos. Hemos aprendido mucho de lo que hemos hecho en personas y tenemos ya los habilitadores y la tecnología para poderlo replicar. Así que en los próximos meses, en el próximo año, sin duda, vamos a poder tener tanto un onboarding digital para pymes como créditos digitales y, sobre todo, un seguimiento o track de todos los requerimientos de las compañías.
Importante destacar ahí el trabajo que hizo Banca Comercial en el minuto de otorgar los créditos con garantía estatal, los créditos COVID llamados acá, donde fue capaz de implementar una metodología digital para un producto que de suyo es complejo, un producto que maneja una agencia estatal, no directamente el banco, y fuimos capaces de otorgar la facilidad a nuestros clientes para que no tuvieran que concurrir a nuestras sucursales, me refiero a los clientes pymes, a firmar, y se pudo otorgar de manera semidigital esta ayuda que fue importante.
Perfecto. Next question, I'm going to give it to Emiliano, if you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
There's a question more about our automobile business. How has Santander Consumer performed during the pandemic? Or Matías can answer this too. What are your forecasts for this business? Santander Consumer? You go.
Well, maybe I can answer.
Yep.
Consumer, for put it in not many words, has been the best of the class during this year. But sales of cars have dropped some 40% year over year during the pandemic. So we have been doing very well. We have lower numbers in terms of number of cars we are financing, but we are cross-selling more in insurance, and as well we increased our penetration, and from 7 cars financed by a consumer last year, we increased one more car. So we have more penetration. The results in terms of the risk of credits, Santander Consumer also is best in class. And because of this, when we see the bottom of the P&L, Santander Consumer used to be a third compared to Forum. This year, Santander Consumer will be a half compared to Forum. What is going to be the outcome for the business in the next year? Of course, it's going to be completely related to, first, how is the car sailings in the market as a whole. But we expect to increase our cross-selling, and we also expect to gain some new car manufacturers to our joint venture that we already have with S.
Okay, next question comes from Daniel Mora. Good morning and thank you for the detailed presentation. I have a question regarding the 380 million investment plan through 2021. How much of this was already invested and what is going to be the purpose of the remaining sources? Thank you so much. Miguel again, I think.
Yes.
Basically, how much we finished the investment plan a little bit after 2021, what are we thinking of?
Well, we are right on schedule about this 380 millions we had for this year and the previous 2 ones. We will end the period completely on schedule. Most of this investment was related to digitalization, but of course most of it was related to doing a catch-up in cybersecurity. So I want to mention this because we have another investment plan for the next 3 years, starting 2021, 22, and 23. And for this period, we are going to be investing another 250 millions. And the difference in the amount from the 250 to the 380 it's because most of the catch-up in cybersecurity is already done.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, so we have now another question more on the financial side. How do you see NIMs evolving in this new landscape? Obviously, we have variations in inflation and rates and the loan growth. Emiliano, if you can give us some insights here.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, I think that for NIMs, the worst is behind. I mean, because we had this year low inflation until the third quarter. I mean, now the fourth quarter is going to be picking up, and it's going to be like a tailwind for our NIMs going forward. Also, in terms of mix, this year we have been falling in consumer loans that are usually the ones with the highest spreads, and also a big part of the origination of new loans during this year has been the FOGAPE loans, which have a fixed spread that is like below our average NIM and spread. So, looking forward, inflation is going to be on the upwards. That's going to sustain NIMs, and also the mix is going to be helping NIMs because we expect to grow at a faster pace in consumer from a very low starting point than on corporates, because the FOGAPE program will be maturing during the next few years. Also, in terms of the cost of funds and the cost of funding, we expect to stay at very attractive, very low levels, especially because of the mix. As you might be aware of, we have demand deposits growing close to 50%. Although it's going to be challenging to keep that pace of growth, we still expect demand deposit to stay growing at a fast pace, in part because of all the work we have done in transactionality, and all the NPS are affecting the loyalty and the involvement of the clients with the bank. So because of inflation, because of the loan mix, and also because of the prospects for cost of funds, we are like positive on NIMs. We expect to be back to 4 or above %, definitely for the fourth quarter and for the next year too.
Thank you. Now the next question from Tito Labarta from Goldman Sachs. You mentioned that low-income clients represent 1% of retail loans compared to around 7-8% a few years ago. How large can low-income clients become now? How does the profitability of these clients compare to former Banefe? And how does it compare to high-income clients? Matías, a nice question for you.
Yes, good question. Thank you, Tito. Yes, when we locked down Banefe in 2018, we always said that we didn't get out for the business for good, and we are now back in business, right? But as Miguel said before, as a very different approach. Our approach is a high mass market and low cost acquisition with extremely low cost digital products. So that allows us the opportunity to gain a very big market that we had in front of our eyes. In our estimations, there are in Chile closely 4 to 5 million people that are in this segment. So this is a great opportunity for us. And the way to monetize that is, as we have an extremely low cost acquisition, which is 5 times lower than we had in Banefe times, we can invite everyone to get in. Not always those kind of mass market that are able to buy a loan, for example. Yeah. We can invite all of them. And we are delivering right now and different and innovative products for each one of these micro targets.
Okay, perfect.
Excuse me, I would like to add something to that.
Sure.
As Matías was mentioning, the cost of acquiring those clients is very low. It's extremely low. It's less than $1.5 per client.
How much was it in Banefe? I think it was more than 100.
Yeah, it was more than 100.
Yes.
So in those years, but most of the income from that from those clients doesn't come strictly from credit, as Matías mentioned, and when we finally offer credit to those clients is after we have learned from their behavior.
Yes.
And we infer based on the transactional information we have on those clients that we decide to offer them loans or not. For the moment, because of the pandemic and because of the increase in unemployment, currently we are restraining ourselves from offering credit to these clients.
Okay.
We're waiting for better times to do so, but we have those clients in the bank, and we are learning from them, and we are servicing them.
Perfect. So we have two more questions, okay? One is actually two people asked it, Thiago Batista from UBS, and also Richard Peck, who's from Wells Fargo, Wells Asset Management. How do you see the competition, but this time more from the big techs? You see them entering Chile.
Yeah, absolutely. The big techs is everywhere and is fighting in every single sector. But we are not afraid with that. We think we have a strong position here in Chile. Our market share is huge. Our engagement with our customer is great. So we have no fear to compete with them face to face.
Perfect. And the final question would be from another one from Ernesto, more with the NPLs. When do you expect to have the peak of NPLs next year? And what should be that level of the NPL ratio?
Can I take it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Emiliano.
I mean, I think that in terms of NPLs, we have been doing definitely much better than expected. That it's at a very low level, and that implies that our coverage ratio of total provision to NPLs is at 210% when it was 125 a year ago. So the performance has been really good, in part helped by the payment holidays and also because of the withdrawal from the pension funds, but we are at a much better level than expected. The biggest challenge in terms of timing could be first quarter of next year, because we are going to have the FOGAPE loans starting to mature. Actually, December is like the first month with the loans maturing. We are relatively confident to what we have seen so far. The coverage of provisions is there, so we are not especially concerned about being able to need additional provisions to cover that. But in terms of timing, we could go up in NPLs during first and second quarter of next year. And if the conditions of the pandemic and the crisis stay as they are now and as we are foreseeing, from there it should stabilize and go down. But even with that, the levels of NPLs shouldn't be extremely higher than the ones we had before the pandemic, from where they are now, that it's extremely lower.
The cost of credit, do you have any?
Cost of credit for this year, as we mentioned in the last quarter, for the fourth quarter, we expect to be between 1.2, 1.3. That will imply around 1.5 for the full year. Next year, we don't see that above that number. The cost of credit during next year should be below this 2020 year, although maybe not as low as it was before the crisis, that, as you remember, we were close to 1%, maybe not go as low as that, but considering the coverage we have now and the behavior of the loans are having after the payment holidays, we are confident that we can have a lower cost of credit in 2020 in respect to 2020 this year.
Perfect. Okay, Claudio.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for attending. I hope you enjoyed this digital talk. Take care and see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.